Welcome back to the 12 vs 12 ESB seasonal. We have got ourselves a spicy match today. We've got ourselves SkyFall versus Made for Legends. I've already got a prediction in chat, so you guys can basically vote for who do you think is going to be winning map number 1. We're going to be jumping in with map 1, which will be Iberian Offensive. And then we'll be going into map 2, which will be Sobek City. And then if we get to that juicy tiebreaker, we'll be heading over to Merak Valley. The teams are currently in the lobby and waiting to rock and roll and getting themselves ready and getting their team members into the game. Let me know, guys, down below who do you think is going to be winning today's game. And yeah, as you can see there, Made for Legends pick was Iberian Offensive, and Sobek City is SkyFall's pick as well. So that being said, I want to see that third map. I always want to see the third map. I want to see the full sweat going in, but we shall see what happens today. The winner of this match that we are spectating today will be heading over to the finals, which will be shown tomorrow. We have also got ourselves 2 games to do tomorrow, by the way, and that is going to be the finals for the squad obliteration for the NA bracket, which will be SkyFall Red versus LRRP. And then we'll be moving over to the finals of the 12 vs 12. So there is a sister match going on at the moment in parallel to this game going on, and that will determine which team will be going up against the winner of today's game. So that being said, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. You're all having a great weekend. If you don't know who I am, my name is LikeNMB. I am a caster for Battlefield primarily. I do other titles as well from time to time, but you'll see my face around pretty much most of Battlefield 6 from now onwards as we go into like spectator mode, all that sort of stuff. And I will be hanging around with ESB as well as other leagues, so you'll see me a lot more. Yeah, so literally we're just waiting for the teams to get into their game and getting ready to go. Looks like we have got 12 on each side, so we might actually be seeing a live very shortly. I'm pretty sure we'll be going. So we can go and start having a look at those feeds because they are calling the ready question mark. And here comes my cat. Right on cue, right on cue. Right, let's have a look then, shall we? Yep, cool. Right, so let's get into the game today. We're probably going to jump on to... I'd like to start with SkyFall today. The reason why I'm going to start with SkyFall is because after this ESB season, unfortunately, SkyFall is going to be going inactive for some time. Now, whether they come back or not is another question. I've known SkyFall for as long as I've been casting, to be honest with you. I've actually played against them before I was a caster in Battlefield 5, and I have had a few of those members in with my team back when I was playing as well for SRG. So I know a lot of the SkyFall guys, and they're like a little mini Battlefield family to me. So it'll be sad to see them go inactive, but I will be following the players when they make their journey into new teams. That being said, let's get into the game. Looks like they have gone ready, and we are ready to rock and roll. So jumping over to a member of SkyFall, let's have a look at Atom at the moment here, who is going to be moving off of that Bravo objective, getting into a gunfight and getting a beautiful headshot, taking down Ika and making his way up towards this objective now. So on defensive Bravo, top road at the moment, looking around. Let's jump up towards Green Reaper now, who is making his way back into the Bravo objective as well. And let's say he's getting himself into a cheeky firefight there with Atom. And looks like we are going to be seeing one member going down, which is AMD. And it looks like, unfortunately, going down to Rubber. So that being said, we'll jump over to Rubber now. Get that kill. And down to Torta. Looking for a headshot there with a revolver from above. Now he's going to be going into cover there, getting that reload off, making his way up the staircase to try and secure this kill for himself. It looks like taking incoming fire, almost down and out. His teammates currently down. He pops the jammer as he's a recon player. He's able to just disable any sort of tugs or anything like around at the moment. And looks like his teammates are currently on that defense for that Bravo objective. I'm just going to be taking a look. Have we got any LEVs dotting around at the moment? Looks like they're currently just having a bit of a thing going on. Alpha objective seems to be relatively under control of SkyFall for the time being. But to be honest with you, the way that M4 are currently playing, they're putting the pressure on. And they're putting the pressure on hard. They currently hold on to Bravo and Charlie. We're heading over to Arizo at the moment. He's currently on revive duty, picking up his squad mates there into the fight as he slowly but surely makes his way over towards Alpha objective. Unfortunately, Atom, being a sneaky boy, sat at that tree, was just chilling for him, waiting for him to jump over the top, and he will end up pulling him out right there. Heading up to See, unfortunately, just went down, but he's going to be spawning in momentarily. Let's see what he's going to be up to as well. So he's going to be going in for the hot spawn off his LAV, which is currently under fire at the moment. And I can see on the map in that point, you can see like there's a red dot literally next to the spawn location of SkyFall. Atom's about to get engaged with it, and looks like they are able to secure that kill. That could have possibly been an anti-tanker for Made for Legends. So unfortunately that guy went down. I don't know who it would be though from Made for Legends. Possibly. It looks like Rubber's got C4, so I'm not entirely sure what he's going to be up to. Maybe he can get some sneaky C4 and take down that APC. We'll have to see. So again, Made for Legends currently in that full defense mode on that Bravo objective, just holding on to it as much as possible. Alpha objective, they kind of can rotate into and just put some pressure on, but they don't need to. They hold Bravo, they hold Charlie. They don't really want to overextend that much. They do either make it caught, get back cap themselves, or even lose that Bravo objective. So yeah, they've just got to be careful. Lovely kill coming out there by Rubber, by the way. He does take down yet another member of SkyFall. That is going to be Dark as he slowly makes his way back towards that Bravo objective. Now he's stopping any sort of back cap from SkyFall as they're making their way towards that Charlie objective. Unfortunately for Atmosphere at the moment though, I would like to go back to it, but it's frozen on my side, so I'm just going to skip it for a second. It could be a network or technical issue that I'm not entirely sure. But moving up to green, aka Reaper, he is getting himself engaged in a big old combat here now. Unfortunately, his teammate Atom did just go down right next to him, so he's fighting this solo, rocking the M433. He's going to go in for the revive because he is a medic after all. Does get the revive. Unfortunately, Atom just sucks in the bullets for him, saving his life, but unfortunately perishes in the meantime. So Reap still on his own. Here comes Toaster spawning back in. Another member that I'm familiar with is Texter, as they're going to be making their way up towards that Bravo objective. Now he finds one on the staircase, unfortunately goes down to Rubber and gets the instant revive. Texter Toaster coming in with a kill as well, and unfortunately does get taken out by Al-Dashi from across the road there. So jumping over to Arizo, who is currently dotting around the outer skirts, heading over towards the Alpha objective. Drop shots Sid, but unfortunately gets killed off by Elusive, who is waiting right behind Sid there. So may go in for the revive, just checking if anyone is actually next to Arizo for backup, but there was nobody. He was on his own. So good job there to SkyFall. They're making their way through the buildings at the moment, and there are 3 other members of Made for Legends actually inside the buildings on the way to that Bravo objective. Now jumping back into Arizo, he is actually making a sprint, kind of crossing the road over and heading back towards Alpha. Now, he may actually run into a few members of SkyFall here, taking the alleyway back into Bravo. And as soon as I say that, he does find Dark, and he headshots him as well with that CZ. So he finds another one as he makes his way up towards the top road. Not really the best gun for a long-range firefight, so he's going to try and close that distance with smoke grenades and try and get a few kills here as well. His teammates all moving in with him, so he should have a nice bit of backup there coming in from his squad mates. We've just seen some LAV fire coming in from that 30mm auto cannon, and he looks like he's going to be absolutely fine. He's going to make his way towards that back road. I want to see some anti-tank fun going in. Sid waiting on top of the staircase there at the back of the Alpha objective, able to take him down. Gets the revive straight away. Sid unfortunately perishes in the meantime. Rubber coming in with the assistance there. Speaking of Rubber, we'll go jump over to Rubber at the moment because he is currently holding mid-ground on the way to Bravo. He has spotted somebody looking to cross over towards the back lanes if you were to go to, say, Charlie in the Conquest. However, he has found himself in the middle of a firefight between Reaper and Atom. Gets himself a beautiful double kill as he pulls himself back towards that staircase we just found him on just a moment ago. So he's going to be waiting there to get his heals up. He isn't a medic, so he's just got to wait for natural healing from himself there. So jumping back to Arizo, who is in a gunfight on Alpha at the moment. He is being pushed at multiple angles. He drop shots Lucas as he makes his way back, and unfortunately gets taken out by WJB in the LAV. Getting that splash damage and taking him down there. Getting the revive though from Greasy, picks him back up, gets him straight back to the fight. Now he will only be half HP because he got revived by a non-medic class, which is unfortunately one of those things that just happens when you're non-medic. Not only do you have a longer revive cycle, you only come up with half that HP. So just bear that in mind. If you play support, 100% HP, faster revive. Lucas sitting on the stairs there, able to take him down and remove him from that Alpha objective. He's going to go for a full bleed out. Jumping up towards Reaper, who is currently going to be looking to spawn back in on that Alpha objective. Looks like he's going to go mid-road over towards Bravo. Unfortunately, his whole squad just got wiped. He may actually just spawn off the tank here. The LEV is making his way towards that Bravo point. Jump straight out. There is a drone going around, and it is an enemy drone, so he's going to be able to shoot that down. However, not before it's already spotted, not only the LEV, but it may have also spotted Reaper as well. So we'll see if Reaper gets intercepted here as he makes his way over towards that Bravo objective. By the looks of it, him and Atom seem... I mean, Atom's taking fire because he needs heals. Looks like it's the LEV from Made for Legends at the top road. And we are going to see Atom open up with an RPG shot off the bat there. And unfortunately gets absolutely blasted away. And leaving Reaper on his own there. Pop the smoke grenades, make his way down the staircase and over towards that Bravo objective. With a few other members of his squad getting inside that point and looking to claim it from Made for Legends grasps. So gets jumped in on, able to come in and take down a Rezo as he makes his way into the bathroom and is holding firm there. And unfortunately does get killed off by Imbosh, who jumps in and takes him out. So heading over now towards, let's have a look at Rubber again. We're going to have a look at some Made for Legends, so we're going to have a look at Rubber, who is currently sat on that objective we were just in, so inside of Bravo. It is now back under Made for Legends control. Knifes the medical box there. Just get some points for the equipment destroyed. Just as a word of advice there, that medical box can actually assist you if you're not a medic yourself on the opposition team, so you can actually use enemy supplies, which is interesting to say the least. Brings out the tugs in the midway here. And is just going to be watching that alleyway to see if anyone comes. So someone has been marked by the tugs. His teammate unfortunately went down. Another person just arrived, and that's going to be Atom getting killed off there. He's going to be looking to push this. His teammate's coming up the staircase from behind as well. And looks like his teammate is going to be able to get a kill and take him out of the game. So, going in for the revive, picking his teammate back up, being an engineer. So again, half HP, pulls himself back towards Bravo. I haven't seen much of the Made for Legends LAV, by the way, which is quite concerning. I'm not quite sure what's happened to it. It did take some RPG fire. Oh my god. Beautiful kills coming in there from Rubber as a bunch of SkyFall just hop the wall straight in front of him. And he's able to spray them down with his teammates and just remove that squad from play. Finds another as he takes down Texas. And he finds another jump as he kills off Dark. Is he gonna carry on this feed? I want to see some more. Come on, Rubber. Find another one. Wow. I say find another one. I think they just fully wiped like 2 squads. In the short space of 30 seconds as I was yapping there. But absolutely amazing job from them. It looks like we've got some more movement coming from top road, including the LEV of SkyFall, which passed straight past there. Getting a few shots there, kill off Atom as he gets down. Finds another, and he will unfortunately get blasted away there by Reaper on the top gun of the tank with WBJ. So, hopping now back over to Arizo, who's inside of Bravo. Looks like he's just holding firm in a corner, just waiting. He knows that SkyFall's in here. He will be going down to Reaper, so Reaper does come in with a kill. So Rizo's out, but he's getting dragged around the corner by Aware, and that is a medic revive, so full HP, ready to go again. So he's going to be looking to re-engage here. Goes prone inside the middle of this room, and he is unfortunately going to get killed off by Reaper once again. So Reaper is hot on the ball today, and we like to see it. So speaking of Reaper, I was going to go and have a look at Reaper, but unfortunately just got blown up by Rubber with the C4. So there you go. That's what the C4 is being used for by Rubber. He's been a sneaky boy. He is blasting the whole of Bravo out pretty much. So there you go. So that being said, let's jump over to Rubber again, shall we? So Rubber headshotting, well, saying headshotting, he got a hit marker onto Reaper with the revolver. His teammate did get the kill there instead. So it looked like it was going to be a headshot, but unfortunately it was stolen from his grasps. So that being said, round 1 is going to Made for Legends here on Iberian Offensive. I did just save the screenshot of the scoreboard, so we can have a quick little peek at that before it disappears. Let's have a look and see what they've done. So we've got, at the top of the board, we've got Eka there with a 3-3 with 1 capture. Psych with the 11-0, so possibly the tanker for Made for Legends. Real Tacker there with 15-10, 14-8 to Arizo, and Greasy with that 11-6. 20-4 to Aware, 22-4 to Rubber. That's absolutely insane. Heading over to SkyFall, we have got some noticeable ones. So WJB, 14-3, 17-13 to Cincer, I believe. It's quite small for me, unfortunately. 7-15 to Dark, elusive there with the 7-13. A very good game overall, and GG's. 333 ticket lead to Made for Legends, so into round 1 of Iberian Offensive. That ticket lead is substantial. SkyFall, unfortunately, has got themselves some ground to gain. They've got to hit this with the triple cap straight off the get-go. Oh, it's going to be a very, very difficult game for them to pull back in the first round. So map 1 is not looking too good at the moment, but I do believe I have seen games where they've been less, like more sweaty and less less time to actually do these type of like ticket captures. And noticeably in like Battlefield 5, we have seen teams swing it the opposite direction and full cap straight off the get-go and just lock them in their spawns. So it is possible, and it is just one of those things. So that being said, we're going to be jumping into round 2 pretty much straight away. I believe they're calling live. Let's just double check. Have we got a live? Believe so. It's hard to judge because we've got one guy, aka Rubber, who is currently riding a quad. Now, I believe his teammates actually with him riding a quad also, so I believe they are live. So, oh, hold on, we just had to redeploy. Just bear with me a second, guys, while I figure out what's happening. Okay, it's probably a weapon switch by the looks of things, so I think we are live. We are live indeed. Right, okay. So, that being said, we're going to jump straight into the action. We're going to go straight to Rubber because he's getting engaged and straight into the action. So Texato's already going down to him. He's also getting shot from behind. He gets jumped in on by Torta, who will take him down and remove him from the game. Sid there also engaging, almost down and out. Another member going down. It is absolute chaos inside of Bravo at the moment. A revive coming in, and looks like Made for Legend is going to be holding on to that Bravo point, the Alpha Bravo cap at this time. Let's have a look over towards... Let's have a look at Green Reaper. Let's see what he's up to. So Reaper... unfortunately down at this time, but we'll be looking to go for a hot spawn off of Atom as he makes his way over towards that Bravo objective. Looks like he's got incoming fire, so he's probably going to go in for the hot spawn off the tank instead, and he will be indeed. Now, this is a very difficult push to do because you're coming in from the open sector and you're going to be going straight into Bravo where there's multiple windows and multiple angles to enter from. So not only could Made for Legends be just set up in there, especially Bravo with the C4, which he isn't, so SkyFall's able to take this from Made for Legends, but I don't think it's going to be long until we find a massive Made for Legends presence on Bravo right away. And as I'm saying that, I can currently see that Arizo and Rubber are already on the outside of the building, putting down the tugs as well for an offensive positioning, and are going to be making them move into the objective now. Now, Arizo did just go down to Reaper, and here comes Mbosh there with the kill against Reaper. So let's have a look. I was going to say have a look at Rubber and Arizo, but they just got absolutely blasted by WJB and the LEV from above on the back road from Charlie to Alpha. So he's just holding that on his own at the moment. Absolutely blasting round straight into Bravo objective and just clearing the way for SkyFall to get in. Real Taco getting a kill against Reaper there as well. So Atom currently upstairs inside of the objective, and he's going to be looking to hold a combat spawn for his squad mates. Seeing that Bravo objective technically is still under Made for Legends control, but is not actually under their control, if that makes sense. So they're upstairs, so they don't actually have a capture point. However, they have got overall control because there are actually players inside the objective, whilst Made for Legends are actually outside the windows. So technically they have that control there. But it looks like as soon as I say that, that control ceased instantly as Made for Legends just ran straight into the building and just cleared it out. Absolutely cleared it out like craziness. So, jumping back up to Reaper, who is making his way back towards the Alpha objective, which is interesting. We can see incoming tank rounds there, and what seems to be the grenade launcher from those rounds. And unfortunately, just gets jumped on by Adachi with the DRS and just removes him from the game straight away. So, heading back over to Arizo, who is currently still in that Bravo objective, but taking incoming fire, is going to be coming up here, and is going to be looking down the straight to see if there's anybody moving from SkyFall from above. Looks like nobody's coming at the moment, so he's going to be opting to go through the alleyways and try and make his way back towards Alpha, where there are red dots currently residing. You can only see on the map there. So red dots making their way over towards the Alpha objective. The LEV for Made for Legends is actually sat on Alpha. So it could be an anti-tank maneuver, or it could just be somebody trying to be cheeky and go for a back cap. Now, the LEV for SkyFall is actually still on the mid-road at Bravo. And this would be an ideal opportunity here for Made for Legends to actually go anti-tank and get this while it's still in the middle of the road. Now, unfortunately, as soon as I say that, it's almost like the Caster's Curse is kicking in a different angle this time. I mentioned the tank being mid-road, and then it leaves mid-road and goes back into cover. So, we'll keep an eye on that. Like, I'm trying to keep an eye on the map to see what those tanks are up to, because they do make a massive impact, especially with the LEVs and their rounds. They're able to get them into buildings, deal some splash damage, even knock down walls, that sort of thing, and then assist their team in general. Jumping in with Rizo here is absolutely feeding. Unfortunately, we'll be getting killed off there by Dylan, so we're going to jump up to Rubber now, who's coming in from the other side of Bravo and looking to enter the objective here. So let's see if he's able to get a few kills, as that triple cap is in full swing, by the way. SkyFall holding a big triple. And they are slowly taking those tickets away from Made for Legends. Right. So Rubber, top floor. Like I said, he won't be actually capturing Bravo because of the top floor. Looks like his teammate is able to get a kill there as well. They're looking down the road to check if anybody from SkyFall's coming in from that back passage bit where the tank was, basically, and from Charlie. But there is nobody there. So I think Bravo objective will be going to the control of Made for Legends, as Robert is currently looking around, just checking to see if there's anybody making their way around. So he has spotted a lot of SkyFall all of a sudden. Lobs a grenade down the staircase, opening fire over the top there as well. Unable to secure a kill, but his teammates are going to be able to assist with these kills in general. Goes for the RPG at the staircase. No confirmed hit. But he is going to be looking for members of that team to be making their way across and maybe go towards the back alley where Bravo would be, and go around and maybe come back into Charlie objective, or maybe even make their way over to his Alpha. So he's going to be jumping out to the opening, and unfortunately will be going down to Wurzel. Wurzel's pretty much going to try and take that staircase from Made for Legends, but there is a lot of Made for Legends on the staircase at the moment, pushing down, going in for revives, and just picking them back up. So lovely play from Made for Legends. They're sticking together, and they're keeping their guys alive. So a member of SkyFall jumping straight into the building. We're going to jump up to Reek, because that is one of the guys that are inside the building here. He gets hold of 1 kill. He gets hold of 2, so he takes down 2 members, including Rubber, and unfortunately will be getting killed off by a Rezo in return. However, there's still another member of SkyFall just outside of the building, and unfortunately will be going down as well. So jumping over to a Rezo, just came in and got a revive. It looks like he's going to be pushed up towards that Charlie objective, which is the home objective of SkyFall in this round 2 of Iberian Offensive. Is he going to go for the objective, or is he just going to flank around and check if there's any stragglers from SkyFall moving in? Looks like the stragglers was the correct call, because he just took down Dark. He's found another. He kills off Lucas. He goes for the reload. Can we look at a push left here? Opening fire with the pre-fire. Is he going to get another kill? Unfortunately, does not, as he gets killed off by Sensor with the DRS. So he goes down. His teammate was with him, but I believe his teammate, unfortunately, did perish as well at top road. So, however, I've just spotted the Made for Legends LAV is actually on top. On the top road area, like in the bush section, and he is trying to push himself into Charlie, so he's going to be putting that pressure down with his main cannon, which is going to allow the infantry to just hold the left side here of this road and just check if any members of SkyFall are going to be looking to try and take Bravo. Now, there are a few members of his teammates not on the same squad making his way up until Charlie now, and just watching the spawns to make sure no member of SkyFall actually comes out of the back spawn and try and get a flank on these guys. So we're going to keep an eye on a Rezo here as he makes his way up. Just like the LEV from SkyFall is also there as well, so it's going to put extra pressure on them. 1 kill, 2 kills, but unfortunately goes down to text the poster and that PW7, which is like an MP9. So it goes to the bleed out. Looks like they won't be able to secure Charlie right now, not unless they get the kill on the LEV from SkyFall. So I don't know the pressure they're putting on that LEV, but I've just spotted as well, just before Rezo spawned back in. The SkyFall LEV was actually reversing with his back armor facing towards them. So that could be an opportune RPG to the back armor, dealing like maximum damage and crippling blow to that tank, but I don't think that will be the case. So, let's jump up to... I don't know, we'll keep it on a Rezo. I've just noticed the other 2 are currently down and out at the moment, so Rezo inside a Bravo objective is going to be looking to go for a revive here and pick his teammate straight back up. Yep, he's going to pick him up, so we're going to jump over to Rubber now. So, Rubber is currently inside of Bravo at this time. Going to be looking towards the road. He takes an RPG to the face as soon as he peeks the corner towards her with the opportune RPG, and Rubber just did not see it coming. Gets the instant revive though, and is now looking up towards that top road to Charlie. Finds a few shots, gets the assist there on the elusive, pops the jammer to see if anyone's been jammed in the vicinity. His teammates are falling in front of him, so now Rubber on his own here. He headshots towards her with the revolver, and he just pushes up. The man's crazy. Just crazy headshot with the revolver. It just reminds me of the revolver from Battlefield 5, and that thing was crazy as well for headshots. So it's good to see a revolver that's capable of doing the same thing here in Battlefield 6. So getting a few shots off there, kills off Sensor inside a Bravo objective. Looks like he's going to be jumping in to try and reclaim it. It's a 1-to-1 scenario. His teammate spawned on him. It's now 3-0. So they have cleaned out on Bravo. Alpha objective is currently neutralized. Charlie's still under control of SkyFall, so we might actually see another 2-cap from SkyFall, unless Alpha is going to their control. Alpha is definitely going to their control. So there we go. So, let's have a look at Reaps. Reaper's about to respawn back in. He spawns off a Sensor, and he's going to be making his way over now towards that Bravo objective. So let's see what kind of fight he gets himself into. He's got a CZ7, which is a fast-firing SMG. Not very good at longer ranges, so he may unfortunately get taken out by someone with the DRS if he's unlucky. He's got squad mates with him. As you see that he's pumping rounds at long range, but it's just too much of a drop-off, really. It's still, you know, but bullet hits still count. You're still dealing some damage, so you're still assisting, and you're putting pressure on regardless of how much damage you deal. So that is still a benefit, despite not being able to get those killing blows. So now he's in an opportune space where he can actually utilize his weapon, and it's going to be at real close range. And unfortunately, he just gets hopped on, and that's going to be Greasy there with the CZ as well. He's just able to kill him off and take him out of the game there. So Bravo Objective still under control of Made for Legends. We're currently looking at 296, 262, and counting down. SkyFall, unfortunately, at a loss here on Iberian Offensive. So we are probably going to be jumping into the next map very shortly, which will be New Sobek City. And that's going to be SkyFall's pick as well. So we'll see how they perform on that map, and I'm hoping they do very well. So that being said, Reaper get himself in a big old firefight right now. He does take down one, unfortunately being pushed by multiple. There's explosions going off left, right, and center. He is looking in the bushes for any ratting thing going on. He does find one, but unfortunately gets headshotted by Rubber with the revolver again. Rubber and this revolver, he's a menace. Someone nerf that man. Nerf him into the ground. Okay, let's have a look at Made for Legends. Let's jump over to Rubber, seeing he's doing so well. So, yep, opening fire. Caster's Curse. There we go. Dies to Dark straight away as soon as I say it. Okay, let's go back to Reeves. Reeves is currently getting engaged on. I bet he's going to die. Please don't die, Mr. Reeves. I don't want the Caster's Curse to kick in. So he's currently trying to defend his home objective area. Unfortunately, he's taking just fire, so he's just going to try and push this. He does see it at long range, and unfortunately, does go down to no Joker. So, unfortunately, the Caster's Curse kick in there as well. So, hopping back over to Rubber once again. He was going to be making his way towards bottom stairs, looking up towards Charlie Road. He does spot the LEV, so he spots the enemy LEV. He's got C4 out. He was thinking about it. He is thinking about it. He's only got one, though, so he's not going to deal much. And Dark does kill him off there with the with an M16. So, there's the curse again. So, with 19 tickets remaining, I'm going to try and save that scoreboard once again, so you guys get a call out for their KDs. Sensor taking down Rubber with the DRS. Yeah, I'm gonna get a screenshot of their leaderboard at the very end. Then I need to remember to do so you guys can see. Well, you won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to hear from my perspective what their KDs are into this final round of Iberian Offensive. So 6 tickets remaining. We can have a look at Rubber quickly. So he's got his RPG out. Looks like he's going to be hunting that SkyFall tank, even though there's probably only seconds remaining. I want to see if he does at least get a hit on the LAV from Made for Legends. So he goes prone instead, trying to capture Charlie at the very end. And he's not contested. He's just chilling. He's just neutralizing the objective. There we go. So GG's are very well played. I'm going to grab that screenshot so I can show you guys what their KCs are. So that being said, here we go. So, Dark from SkyFall. 8 and 14, 12 and 13 to Elusive. Lucas there with the 11 and 14, 11 and 12 to Atom. Torta with the 9 and 10, 7 and 17 to Sid. Texatosa with the 7-14, 7 and 9 to Dylan. WJB with the 15-6 as the tanker, 12 and 8 to Wurzel, which I believe could be the engineer for the tank. Sinso with the 13 and 15, 11 and 6 to Reaper. Heading over to Made for Legends. Echo with the 8 and 4, 11 and 1 to Psych, which I believe is the tanker for Made for Legends. Real Taco with the 11 and 12. Arizo, 21 and 12. 20 and 5 to Greasy. Aware with the 20 and 8. 13 and 6 to Rubber. El Prince with the 15 and 13. 17 and 9 to Ambush. El Butchie there with the 11 and 9. 13 and 6 to Joker. And Dwy. Actually, Dwy's the tanker for Made for Legends with a 14 and 0. So again, his tank never fell. So he 0 deaths. Well played. So, well played to both teams. GG's. We're going to be moving into map 2 very shortly. In the meantime, guys, we're going to see if we can maybe sort out Bot Atom's feed. It's kind of jumping in and out, hence why we haven't really had a look at it. Guys, let me know what you think down below. Who do you think is going to be winning map number 2, which will be New Sobek City? We will be back momentarily with the start of the game. So, guys, see you in a second. Hello, jelly beans and lady bellies, I suppose. I make new things up every time, but we are back today. We're with the ESB for that 12 versus 12. We're now moving ourselves into map number 2, which is waiting for the players to join the server. I hope you guys enjoyed that short little videos. By the way, we had the season 4 trailer there, Battlefield 5. You saw my face in a monitor, maybe me dressed as a human bush. That was interesting, and we had Mike there as well in the studio. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen that sort of stuff before, it's definitely worth checking out ESB on YouTube. You can see all the older casts and all that sort of thing as well if you're interested in seeing what we used to get up to in Battlefield 5. And yeah, it was a fun time. It was definitely a fun time during all the lockdowns and that sort of thing. That was an interesting time for casting and for Battlefield in general and competitive. That being said, I believe the guys are going to be starting to load in. We have booted up Bot Atom's his feed once again. Hopefully, we'll be able to see more of his perspective, and hopefully, it's been sorted. But we'll keep an eye on it. We've still got Reaper, we have still got Rezo, and we still have Rubber. So we've still got 3 out of the 4 feeds at the moment while we wait for Atoms to come back online. So just bear with us with that. Guys, what do you think, by the way? Map number 1, massively taken by Made for Legends. I think it ended up being like a 600 plus ticket lead in the end. It was craziness. It was they controlled all of Iberian Offensive. SkyFall dare them. They were pushing as hard as they can. You could see them. They were driving it hard. They were coming over walls like in groups with each other. But every time they did that, there was just 1 or 2 Made for Legends guys on kind of like waiting for them and just prepared for them. And then whenever they took an objective, literally seconds later, you would find Made for Legends would just push in and just take it back straight away. The LEVs, unfortunately, looks like the SkyFall one did run into some issues. It wasn't able to kind of get where it wanted to go. It was kind of held out a little bit. It did manage to take top of Charlie Road, where it was able to put down some fire onto the Bravo objective. However, it wasn't there for much longer. It had to pull out because it was taking incoming fire, hence why it was moving back towards spawn. The Made for Legends LEV, as much as I didn't see it, it also didn't die. So it was doing something right, and I think it was holding like his back cap as well as like pushing up towards that Bravo point and just putting that incy little bit of pressure against the SkyFall one, forcing it off of that middle point, which allowed the rest of the infantry to kind of get a foothold and allow them to just push on Skyfall and go for those triple caps. So they did a real good job in that round. And as much as I like to see it replicated, I do want to see Skyfall try and get a victory here on their chosen map. If they get that victory, we're going to be seeing that map number 3, and we always want to see map number 3 when it comes to these games. So just bear in mind that I am rooting for Skyfall in this round, not just because it's Skyfall, but because I want to see map 3, and that is the reason. So server's still going through at this time, and by the looks of it, no, we're looking at Manhattan Bridge at the moment, so we're still waiting for a moment. Tell you what, guys, in the chat below, it'll be about 2 minutes before I see it, but tell me, who do you think is going to win, and who do you think is going to win tomorrow's game, which is the 4 versus 4 squad split between Skyfall and LRRP, and who's going to be winning the 12 versus 12 as well, which will be tomorrow. So we'll be doing the finals tomorrow, whether it's Made for Legends today or Skyfall, as well as I think it's Gloria Victus, and off the top of my head, trying to think. Let me bring it up. My brain's gone dead. ESF. There we go. Got it. So ESF and Gloria Victus. So ESF. A funny story with ESF, actually. I casted the first ESB game for Battlefield 6 on the channel. It was ESF versus Gloria Victus, and ESF won. They actually did a massive blow to Gloria Victus. That helicopter pilot from ESF is crazy. Holding the field, we had Murak Valley and we had Liberation Peak. And the helicopter was able just to farm up the infantry players of Gloria Victus, as what Gloria Victus is real strong at, is their infantry. So it'll be interesting to see who wins that game. I wonder if ESF is going to get beaten this time by Gloria Victus, because Gloria Victus is kind of, they've taken that beating and they've kind of like realized what they did wrong, and they're probably going to come back strong. So I do wonder, actually, I really do wonder. So it'll be interesting to see the outcome of that match. However, we are now loading into new Sobek City, so we're going to be getting live momentarily. Just waiting for the guys to join the game. So yeah, we'll jump into the feeds now. Let's jump into like a Rezo's feed or Reaper's feed now that they're on the map itself, and let's just examine their overall loadouts of weapons and what classes they're going to be running as well while we wait for this game to start. Because a lot of the time, especially like a Rezo, when he was playing that medic in the last game, he was able to come in with a lot of revives and keeping his team steamrolling through Skyfall. Now, by the looks of it, they're not too concerned about anti-tanking in general, Made for Legends, because a lot of the guys we're watching today are just pure infantry, right? Normally with other games I've casted, we have noticed there'll be like dedicated anti-tank squads or dedicated anti-tank players. And for example, if we take is it Cyrix? I think it's Cyrix or Cyrix from funny enough from Made for Legends. He is the like dedicated is it Cyrix? I'm getting confused now. No, Cyrix from the Australian team. Sorry, not from Made for Legends. So he was like dedicated anti-tanker. His whole MO for the whole game was to get behind the enemy vehicle and puncture its back armor, which was literally just what he was doing the whole time. Whether he'd be patient, he'd wait in a building somewhere and just chill for a bit, listening out for tank tracks, see if they pass through, or find an opportune moment through communication with his squad mates to try and go for the back armor as well. Those type of things are key. And yeah, for me, for Legends, it's kind of like a silent philosophy with them. I don't see the anti-tankers doing the anti-tanking. I just see pure, just brute force medical infantry just pushing forth, which it just interests me through and through, especially for 12v12. Now there are more players than say a standard 8v8, so there is probably anti-tank on Made for Legends. We just don't see the action because it happens so quick. And it's just removed from the game. And these guys we're watching today are just hot in the objectives at all times, so they just don't see the enemy tank, or they don't see their own tank much. Hence why we don't see them. So, by the looks, we're waiting for one member of SkyFall. We're going to be seeing MPTs on this map, so we're going to be seeing those main battle tanks come to work, which is, in my aspect of being like quite orientated with vehicles, I'm not a fan of the main battle tank. Despite it being cool as hell and using the big 100 like meter shell and stuff, it's pretty cool, and blowing buildings up and stuff. But the LAV is just the chef's kiss. I'm a big fan of the LAV. Not only as it's a mobile swarm vehicle, its cannon is crazy for taking down infantry. The tow missile is great for like going after aircraft and going after other like lighter vehicles, even hitting tanks. You hit rear armor shot on a tank with the tow missile is brilliant for that as well. So I am a big fan of the LEV over the main battle tank, just in general. I don't know how you guys feel about vehicles. I know a lot of you guys have watched today are pretty much infantry players. So I like this, if there's a vehicle player in chat, tell me what you think of the tanks in Battlefield 6. I know there's been a hot discussion around them and how either how weak they are or how strong they are. Are they in a good spot now? Do you think they need more improvement? Me personally, I feel like the MPT needs a little bit of improvement. The LEV, I think you can leave it as it is because it is a good all-rounder vehicle, and that's what it's meant to be. It's not meant to be too over armored. It's meant to be, that halfway point, but it's also got that great anti-infantry ability to it, and etc. and stuff like that, basically. But I feel like the MPT could do with a little bit of work, but you guys might have a totally different perspective to what I see. But yeah. That being said, we're still on New Sobek City. I'm just checking to see how the guys are in. So it looks like all of them, bar not Rubber, Rezo may be restarting his game due to some problem. So we will be waiting for a few more minutes yet while the guys are getting ready for this game. But remember, guys, at the end of this tournament with ESB, SkyFall will be going inactive. So you probably will not see SkyFall again for a hot minute, which is very unfortunate. However, I have heard news of a tertiary team being formed. It won't be called SkyFall, but you'll see it. I won't announce it now. I'll let the TLs for that team announce it because it is their given right. But there is another team, so we will still see them, whether it will be in spirit, but they won't be in by name. So just bear that in mind, guys. Yeah, just bear that in mind. So just gonna check on chat now. So it's been over 2 minutes. How you doing now, Dachi? Thank you for casting. No worries, mate. No worries indeed. Just catch up on chat quickly. Say hello to some of you guys while we're in the intermission phase. Just saying hello to everybody and welcome in. Hope you enjoyed today's cast. It is more difficult than what I'm used to, just because POV is, it is one thing. You're only seeing perspective from players, and you're trying to take in a lot of information all at once from different perspectives. So you're trying to take in information from their map at the bottom left. You're trying to take information from their feed at the top right. You're trying to take information from their squads as they spawn in or get killed off. There's a lot of stuff we're trying to take in from each individual feed, as well as their feeds and what they're doing. So we try to keep up as much as the action as possible, but it's not the same as spectating. So that is on its way though. So I cannot wait to dive in, and I hope you guys will will enjoy it as well, because I know spectator mode will just change the outlook of how we all look at competitive, especially from like the overhead views to the ability to switch between different players' perspectives in game, and as well as using those fixed camera spots that are dotted around the map as well. So that is something I cannot wait for. Okay, so we'll jump up to Rubber, because he's actually having fun in the MBT at the moment. He is currently dotting around. He's got that lovely skin on, which is kind of like a Forest D skin. He's actually being jumped by Atom. Atom, unfortunately, will be going down. By the looks of things, with Atom's feed, I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be usable yet. We'll have to see. Hopefully it'll be fine. Fingers crossed. But I will let you guys know otherwise the reason why we may not be watching it. But it seems stable at this moment. Okay, so all players are in the game, I believe. And we may actually see a ready call coming in very shortly, along with a restart. It's very interesting to see certain guns being used in this 12v12 that I've probably never seen before. Used in like other comp modes. Like I'd see more M4s used over the C7, but we see the C7 used more in this 12v12 scenario. So yeah, it's a little bit different, really. Okay, so looks like they are calling ready, so we're going to be jumping in. And good luck to both teams, and let's see if SkyFall can get this victory. And I really do hope they can. So, clear the voice, have a drink, and we'll get into it.
We no longer control objective Bravo.
Okay. So they're still okay. They are calling ready, so I assume the restart's coming any second now. Right. Okay. So waiting on one M4L player to become ready. So SF are entirely ready. So it is going to start any second now. So I want to see some more headshots from Rubber. In all honesty, I want to see him come in and absolutely just take some heads off, because that's what he's been doing this last game. I want to see a Rezo. I mean, a Rezo is a very aggressive player, and he's also a very good medic. And I know that from experience of watching him previously in our other games. He's always been that medic player. He's always been the type of guy to get stuck in, but also not go down straight away. And if he does go down, he'll either just insta-bleed out because he knows he needs to get back into the fight as quick as possible and just start reviving his teammates and getting those kills, or he'll just be a sneaky boy. He'll be sat in a corner waiting patiently and just being an ambush master as well. That's just a Rezo for you. We've seen him quite a few times actually, like especially in the last game where he ducked behind some cover and waited for SF to jump over a wall, and there's like 3 of them in his face. He did go down. He took down 1 or 2, and then his teammates from behind just backed him up and just wiped out that squad of SkyFall. So, communication is key. Being able to just communicate when you're hearing footsteps, when you're able to hear the vehicle tracks, that sort of thing, is all key to these type of games, especially when it's a 12 versus 12 as well. Even more so, because the chaos within the Discord must be like pretty crazy. Think of it, you've got 12 voices all speaking at once, trying to communicate what they're doing and where they are and who's on them and who's like taking them out or who they've taken out, or what they should do next. I mean, you got the shot callers as well, so you'd have like dedicated squad shot callers that will say, look, we need to go here, everybody just fall in on this. And that applies to both teams. And shot callers is a hard job in its own thing, because you've got to deal and like rein in players that maybe getting like a bit stressed, maybe having some of those issues, and you kind of need to rein them in and then make sure they're emotionally stable to carry on the fight without having to like lose it too much, if that makes sense. So the map's being restarted, and I do believe we have got ourselves a ready, which will mean it's time for map number 2 of Sobek City between Made for Legends and SkyFall. And we've got 2 rounds here. It could be the final 2 rounds of tonight's game. It could not. Depends if SkyFall's able to come in and get this win. So I'm very interested to see what SkyFall's up to. I'm very interested indeed. By the looks of things though, bot Atom's feed probably will not be usable. So I'm just letting you guys know that we're probably just going to be going off Reaper for SkyFall's feed for now. And we have got Rubber and a Rezo for Made for Legends. So we're going to dive in with Made for Legends to start with here, because they've just drove straight into these objectives and get stuck into the action. Sincer killing off one of the members here which will be Rubber. And Arizo, like I said, is currently pulling himself away from the firefight, and he's going to be either trying to go for that backup of Alpha, or he's going to be holding anchor for some of his squad to spawn back in. So just sticking to Arizo at the moment. So Rubber spawns in, so he was holding anchor for his squad mate, Rubber. And they are going to slowly make their way towards the back end of Alpha. He finds one member of SkyFall, he will be killing them off. That was elusive. Crosses the road. Finds another member of SkyFall lit up on the map there. And it will be opening fire but unable to secure that kill. But however, put the pressure on regardless. And he's able to come in and get that kill onto Dylan. And looks like that Alpha point may be clear for him. There could be one more member of SkyFall. He's not been spotted. So he will not know unless he's hearing his movement. Yeah, it's 1-0. So I believe he's got this point. However, this is not going to stop SkyFall spawning off of Alpha. Because technically it's still under their control. So he should see another combat scenario any second now. Now, Rubber was actually engaged behind Arizo. Unfortunately, did just die to Texan Toaster with the DRS. So Arizo, oh no, he's stuck in the corner. Very unfortunate. I could tell what Arizo was trying to do, but there was a big old pipe in the way that just body blocked him. Very unfortunate for Arizo to make all that travel work to the Alpha objective and unfortunately die in that manner. But alas, you die, you go again. So he's off again with Rubber as well. So Rubber's already in the front line. We'll have a look at Rubber at the moment because he is actually going in with the C4 against the MBT of SkyFall. He's jumping straight over the wall. Gets a hit at 25. Goes for another. I believe it's already reversed out of there. So he will not get another hit. But he's going to dive in. He's going to sacrifice himself. And he unfortunately does not get a second hit as he goes down to WJB in the MBT. Very, very hard work there by Rubber, but unfortunately just unable to connect all those C4s to secure that kill. So hopping now over back towards Arizo, who is making his way back towards that Alpha push. He's going through these buildings like he did last time. And he is going to be... Oh, no. Actually, he's coming back in onto Bravo. So he's looking for the back. Making sure that tank can't see him as well. Finds a member of SkyFall trying to cross into the buildings as well. He's got his teammate with him. He's going to be able to get the kill here. A few shots going in. Unable to secure the kill, but his teammate picks up them instead, which is going to be Lucas and Dark, both out of the game from Aware. Aware being very aware. Oh, unfortunately, Torta. Now, this is a gun I have not seen in a while. The KTS. A gun you'll normally find within RedSec because it's high accuracy at long range. However, it hasn't got that much stopping power, not in comparison to other LMGs. So it's interesting to see that being used today. But well played to Torta. He did get the kills. You know, he picked up the kills with the gun, which is fair enough. Okay, let's hop back in with... Rubber. Every time I go to look at Reap, unfortunately, he is in the respawn screen, so I can't hop in Reap just yet until he has got himself a stable footing and on a kill feed. Unfortunately, to cross the road there, Rubber will be getting killed off by the SkyFall main battle tank. Rezo at long range trying to get a kill there with that C7. Again, the gun is not built for that range. However, he's dealing suppression. He's dealing a little bit of damage as he's trying to pick off those shots at range. Okay, let's jump in with Green. Now, Green is currently being held off of Alpha. Now, he's trying to exit spawn zone. However, he's got pretty much a wall of M4L to his right and to his front. So, and by the looks of it, a tank. So, he's got to somehow make a push here with the smoke grenades. And he is going to be popping those smoke grenades, going through it with his knife out for a faster sprint. He has spotted an enemy from M4L. However, he has lost track of it. So, he's going to keep moving. Unfortunately, taking shots from the left. It's going to be Aware with the DRS who takes him out there. It is very unfortunate, but Reaper back to the spawn screen. Looks like he's opting for a weapon switch, and I believe he's going to be going for the M433, so going for the base assault rifle, which is very good at long range. So let's see how he does with that. However, let's jump over now to Rezo, and actually, hold on, let's jump back to Reaper, because he had an interesting spawn. His teammate's ratting up the staircase. He jumps straight on Aware. He loses his teammate, but he gets the pick there. And these guys are stuck on the staircase. This is bad for them. This is real bad for SkyFall. Real bad. Oh, no. They're going to come. Oh, no. Oh, wait. His teammate's still there. Who is it? Who is it? Who's his teammate? They're still able to hold this staircase despite being pushed off almost. Reaper going down, but able to hold in. And he is going to be jumping out of here and unfortunately dying to Rubber to his left flank. His teammate jumps out the window as well. Still stays alive. Rubber goes down the sensor. Gets the revive. Reaper back into the fight. I was just wondering what they was doing on that staircase for a while. But yeah, they was just holding and waiting for footsteps from Made for Legends. Just waiting for them to push through. But there we go. Gets the kill. Okay, moving into Bravo. And looks like they're going to be sitting on the objective. It's 2-1, so there's a member made for Legends on the point, which is behind him, lying down there. And he does get the kill. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, Reaps is absolutely fine. And lovely plays from SkyFall. Oh, wait. The tank. Weety shooting in a 120mm round straight into Reaper's back end, taking him down there. Tex Toaster barely alive on Bravo as well. It's still under SkyFall for a moment, but is about to be neutralized. And unfortunately, Tex Toaster does indeed fall. So, jumping over now to a rezone Rubber. Let's have a look at Rubber, who is currently jumping around Bravo, waiting for it to be claimed before he heads off back towards the Alpha objective. He gets the tugs out just to check if any SkyFall members are moving in from the outskirts into that point. Okay, look on the right side. You can see gunfire and a tank shell. Just holding the head glitch just to check if anybody's going to be pushing. It looks like the whole right side's been lit up by SkyFall and is on this mobile crate for a vehicle. He's going to find one. He's going to find two. He kills off Cincer and Torta. And he's going to pull himself back to the left here. Goes for the tugs again just to check. The tank is on the other side of this, the other side of this wall. And he's going to pop that jammer to make sure nobody else has got tugs. There's a few members of SkyFall there. Comes in for a few rounds, jumps on top of the helicopter. Gets a kill against Reaper, but goes down to Atom. And it looks like SkyFall are hot on the heels of Bravo at this time. Current lead at the moment, though, for Made for Legends is 320 to 200. And it's still counting down for SkyFall. This is SkyFall's map pick, so they need to make sure they secure that Bravo objective if they can. Tank shells coming in from a range from Made for Legends, just putting pressure on Bravo to stop any SkyFall members from entering that point. Cincer getting caught coming through the window there by Rubber. Pops the jammer. It says enemy jam, so someone is nearby. He's just looking for it. Oh, shots from the left there. You've seen it come up on his feed. Seen shots behind the helicopter once again. Looks like his teammates, especially like Japden and stuff, may have just got a kill as he makes his way towards his right side, looking to push around the corner here. Is he going to be able to engage a few members of SkyFall on this side? He's looking for them. Helicopter tail goes in for the C4. He finds the tank. Now, that is not going to stop C4, the trophy system, and looks like he will unfortunately go down to Dylan, who is the engineer for that SkyFall tank. Okay, hopping back over to Mr. Reapers, who is actually on top of Bravo objective at the moment, and SkyFall is in control of both Alpha and Bravo, and looks like they're going hard push. Look like they're going to be going in for this other objective to try and go for the triple cap here, which is kind of what SkyFall wants, basically. If they go for the triple cap, lovely kill, by the way, as he takes down a Rezo, he jumps out of the building. He does find another one through that van as well. I will get onto the objective in just a second. He kills off Rubber, so that's 2 members down. He's going to find another. He's going to find another. He's currently taking it coming around. He's going to be careful, though, because the tank could be nearby from Made for Legends, and he does see the red dots there between him and that point. But also he's got to be careful of incoming members of Made for Legends from the spawn point, which would be directly behind him. So Reaper's in a bit of a sticky situation, and unfortunately will be getting killed off by that tank. Yeah, as I was saying about objectives, if SkyFall went for the triple cap, they would be able to kind of like try and secure themselves a lead, and maybe even a bigger ticket victory for round 2. However, they've been stopped in their tracks. Still got 2 out of 3 objectives though. So they are slowly bringing those tickets down off of Made for Legends. Made for Legends are going to be starting to lose those tickets slowly. However, they have got quite a way to go before they actually start losing the lead. So Made for Legends has still got enough time to stop this. However, big tank shell yet again. Reaper cannot get a break. Weety just pops around straight next to him and kills him instantly. Let's hop over now to a Rezo, because he's getting into the action here onto the Bravo objective for Made for Legends and is able to claim it with his teammates. I just spotted how many players were on top of that point, and it was 5. 5 players, 6 now, 7. Oh god, it's going up there. It's going up there. We've got a good amount of players. I'm not going to say the number again because it becomes a meme. On top of that Bravo objective, claiming it quickly so they can make a big push towards that Alpha point. And it looks like they're doing it pretty damn free. Where is the SkyFall tank? I do not see it on Green's feed, which makes me sad. So that tank unfortunately had been removed from game. Again, we don't get to see the anti-tanking from Made for Legends because it's another squad. So any tank hunting going on is unfortunately unknown to us. But we get to see pure infantry fun, and I mean, that was just craziness what I just seen on Arizo's end. So if we didn't see it on feed though, Arizo knocked down that wall with his robot arm. The robot arm, the wall kind of like flew into the way of his victim, and he just absolutely just sprayed him outright. It's almost like it was just a little piece of cover. It was a classic battlefield moment where you'd have, say, a jet crash in front of you as you're trying to shoot somebody, and inadvertently it gets you killed because all your shots go into the wreckage of a burning plane instead of the person who somehow survives the impact from the plane. So it's that type of stuff. So Arizo killing off Dylan there on top of the Alpha objective. It looks like this Alpha point may get claimed here by Made for Legends, which is not what SkyFall wants. SkyFall need to take this off of them as quick as possible, or even go for another objective. And looks like they've opted for the other objective, which is Bravo. So they go for Bravo, which is a very risky push indeed, especially with the MBT dotted around that point at this time. SkyFall may actually lose that Bravo point as quick as they take it, but we shall see. The pressure is now on. Made for Legends is currently taking fire on top of Alpha. By the looks of it, that was Dylan. Unfortunately, goes down. And looks like they will have that secured. Bravo did go to Skyfall control. Now is Skyfall going to go back for Alpha, or they're going to make a continued push to Charlie? Because they need to do something. They can't stay still on Bravo, unfortunately. And by the looks of things, Reaps is currently making his way back towards Alpha. Now, they're going to run directly into the squads responsible for the capture of his home objective. So this is going to be a real hard fight indeed. We're going to jump over to Reaper now and just see how his push is going. And the caster's curse just kicks in again. As soon as I say that, he just gets killed off by Joker. So we hop back now over to Rubber, as Arizo seems to be a little bit AFK. So Rubber, push him right here. He's currently crouch sprinting, which is something you don't see often, but is a valid tactic. Find your footsteps. Pop the jammer. You have to remember a Skyfall. He gets jumped on by Atom with the M433, who's shooting his body before getting blown away by the tank. Oh no, Atom, you got caught doing that, mate. You got caught. Not only was you just like unleashing your bullets upon Rubber's corpse, as you're doing so, in a fit of rage, you take a tank shell to the face. Oh dear, Atom. But we love him. We love Atom for what he does. So, back to Rubber. Rubber's back to where he just died. Just as quick as that. Moves over the right side here to the road. The outer road where all the destroyed wreckages are. And he's going to be making his way down the tank for Skyfall's been spotted. He is a recon player. He's going to be jamming. Is he going to go for it? Is he going to go for it? He's going to get one. He's going to get two. He's going to get three. And he kills off the Skyfall MBT on his own as a recon. Not even an RPG in sight. And just for good measures, he shoots at his body after he kills him. So gets his own back. Unfortunately, dies the Sensor though in the meantime. Okay, let's hop now over to Arizo. Arizo on top of Bravo. Pop the smoke grenades. And looks like he's going to be engaging on this objective, seeing that Skyfall has had it for all this time. And it kills off Reaper, who was sat in that corner. Unfortunately, gets taken out by WJB, who is the tanker for Skyfall with that M433. And he is taken back to the spawn screen. So let's hop now back over to Rubber, who's back where he was a second ago. Oh, never mind. There we go. So first round has gone to a GG's. Let me grab that leaderboard. 191 ticket lead by Made for Legends into round one of New Sobek City. So I want to see Skyfall get a victory of that or more to secure the victory on New Sobek City. Fingers crossed we see map 3 today for the semi-finals of the 12v12. Let me just read out the leaderboard quickly before we get into the next round. So going from Skyfall first, seeing they're on the NATO side, we've got a 9 and 4 from WJB, Dark with a 4 and 15, 8 and 16 to Torta, Reaper with a 12 and 15, 12 and 13 to Elusive, Sid with a 19-14, 8 and 11 to Text Toaster, Cincer with a 14-15, 13 and 10 to Lucas, Wurzel with a 6 and 6, 12 and 19 to Atom, Dillon there with the 3 and 12. Now hopping over to Made for Legends, we've got Greasy with a 17-5, 15 and 12 to Arizo, Aware with a 27 and 9, 16 to 0 for Wheaty. So that's the tanker for Made for Legends. Japvin with the 18-11, 16 and 13 for Rubber. Makitos, I've never seen this name before. Makitos Lee, I think, is kind of small for me. It's 21 and 11. Real Taco there with a 19 and 15, 10 and 1 to Psych. Ecto there with a 2 and 2, 15 and 12 to Joker, and El Prince with a 16 and 17. So as much as I read that out, by the looks of it, we're going to be going into round number 2. Do I see it live? I believe they're just instantly live, I think. Wait, no, we're not. Okay, we're missing a member of one of the teams, so we're on hold just for a moment. However, what an interesting game, actually. What a very interesting game we had just then. The MBT from Made for Legends holding that Bravo point and just keeping it under lockdown the whole entire game just shows how much a vehicle can be a presence if it's not hunted in a good manner. Now, SkyFall, I mean, again, we only have one feed technically. I know Atom's feed is currently not available really, so we don't really see much anti-tanking in the form of SkyFall. But I would assume they have dedicated anti-tankers who will be looking to hunt that tank down. But the Made for Legends vehicle stayed untouched the whole game, 0 deaths, and just able to sit there and just be an overall presence on that Bravo objective. SkyFall managing to come in and take Bravo from time to time, maybe forcing that tank back by dealing damage to it and taking them off the point. But the point is the tank can get repaired very quickly and it just comes back into the fight. And then it puts down more pressure, and this allows the infantry to move in from the, from the back push. They just come from Alpha, they're moving over, and they're pincering onto that Bravo objective and just taking down SkyFall. So the vehicle is playing a huge role for the not only anti-infantry, but just for overall zone control. So the SkyFall tank, however, trying to do the same thing, but we've seen firsthand, even as a recon player, utilizing the jammer, utilizing the tugs, utilizing the C4, Rubber was able to just sneak behind that tank and go for the kill. Maybe the SkyFall tanker could have maybe heard the footsteps. I mean, the problem is he was crouch sprinting, so his footsteps may have been more silent to what the tank was currently doing at the time. So moving, so you got the sound of the engine, you got the sound of the tracks, you got the sound of the opening fire, the cannons, the gunshots. So may not have picked up on it, but we really want to see that SkyFall tank take it to the M4 tank and try and just take it off of Bravo. Because if they remove that M4L tank off of Bravo, I believe SkyFall can get overall control of Alpha. Well, it would be Charlie Bravo now for them, but overall control of that objective. So that being said, we are hopping in, by the looks of things, as the map has been restarted, into what could be the final round of tonight's game. So, by the way, I've just spotted a sniper rifle pull from none other but Rubber. They're saying, are they live? Let's see if they are live. Like I said, we've got a sniper rifle from Rubber. Something you don't see too often. Oh, and a sniper rifle from Arizo. So, do I feel like they're trolling? Not like trolling SkyFall. Yeah, they're missing 2 members of SkyFall. So, we're just waiting for a second. I think they're just going to be having fun for the time being. We do apologize, guys, but with bigger games, this is kind of what happens from time to time. Is we'll just be waiting and looking to see what these guys are doing in the meantime. Looks like Reaper is rejoining the game as well off the top of Atom. So, and looks like Arizo's left. Could possibly be rejoining a different game or rejoining the same game. We'll see. Anyway, so guys, in the chat down below, what do you think SkyFall can do to bring this back? What do you think they can do to bring this back? I'm delayed for about 2 minutes, so you won't hear this until 2 minutes time from when I asked. I will try and keep it on chat to see what you guys say. But what do you think they can do to bring this back? Now, I believe taking the M4L tank off of Bravo, either removing it from play or putting enough pressure on it to remove it from Bravo would be a good play here. Because not only would it allow the presence of the SkyFall tank to have control on Bravo, it would put that presence down as well, allowing the infantry to a little bit more respite when it comes to M4L infantry coming for them. However, we already know that M4L's infantry are very strong on the ground. It's just their playstyle, like Rubber, Rizzo that we see. They're very good players. So they've always have been good players, especially in the past with like Battlefield 5. But so is SkyFall, namely Atom, Reaper, Sid. A lot of the guys that are currently fighting today are all the originals from back in the day. So they are very good players regardless. It's just the vehicle is the other thing here that's proven a problem, and we've kind of seen it with Reaper. Reaper spawned in, blown up by the tank. Tried to make a push towards Charlie back camp, blown up by a tank. Tried to respawn back off of Bravo, blown up by a tank. So yeah, it's you can tell it's a problem for them, and I do hope they're able to just secure this and get this locked in. So enough of me yapping, but yeah, I'm just keeping on that chat to see if you are responding momentarily. Just to see if you guys are responding in game. So you asked about resolution of the feeds that we're getting. So I believe Rubber is on a stretch mode. Reaper looks normal, and so does Rizzo. So yeah, I know Rubber plays stretched personally. He does play stretched. So you might be watching Rubber at this point, which I think you are, and he's on a stretched stretch resolution. However, you'll be seeing 1080p on stream from our perspective. So if we say jump over to a Rizzo now, you'll see like a more normalized game. But it is what it is. You know, we're taking feeds from players directly, and we're taking their native resolution that they're running at. So it's something where we can't control. However, when spectators here, we'll be running at our standard resolution at all times, no matter what the player's playing. It won't affect us at all. So just bear that in mind. Okay, just checking the leaderboard. We're still missing one individual to join in, and as soon as that's through, we'll be getting on with the game. So, we're going to commentate over some of the sniper action going on. So I'm going to jump in with Rubber, which we're currently looking at this time. He is having a good old firefight here. And he is looking at long range. He's watching for that headshot. He's looking. He's spotted a head. Oh, he's spotted one. Oh, he almost gets it. He doesn't quite though. Instead, he's taking incoming fire instead. Okay, popping the tugs. Checking if there's anyone coming towards him. I just want to check in with SkyFall to make sure they have actually got a 12th member still joining. So it's interesting to see bolt action rifles within Battlefield 6 doing what they're doing. So, for example, Rubber here is actually a very good, like, aggressive sniper. And normally when you see things in pub games, you always see them, like, sat on a cliff somewhere. As well as, you know, being a sniper as your class, like, you natively spot people. When you shoot them, you also spot them in real time for not only yourself, but for your teammates and your squad. So, Recon has a real play within Battlefield. No longer does it have the tactical beacon. That got moved to the assault, which is an interesting choice to say the least, but it is what it is. But yeah, we've seen how powerful a recon player can be, especially for anti-tanking as well. Like the C4 able to go in for the rear armor, take out the MBT in the last game, which was Rubber. But the bolt action rifle, being able to spot players that you shoot at them when you aim at them, is just craziness. It is a very underappreciated but very powerful class to use. And it's kind of like one of those classes where they use for assist farming over killing. And obviously you get the perk with the sniper rifle as well, so you're able to like hold your breath for longer. You know, there used to be a point where when you aimed in with a sniper rifle with another class, you'd have just constant sway. With the sniper rifle, you never had, with the recon class, you never used to have that. So that's another thing as well. I think Afton's going to be coming in with an RPG. They're trying to kill him. He doesn't quite get it either. Just takes down Sid C. Oh, Sid, sorry, with a headshot from that revolver before getting killed off by Reaper with the KTS 100 as well. So I'm not entirely sure if they're live here or not. I'm just casting it like in a more relaxed style. But they're fighting for their lives on these objectives. But SF are down one player. So I'm not entirely sure what's happening here. But okay. So I just got confirmation. So they don't have a backup player. SkyFall are down 2 at the moment, which is unfortunate indeed. By the looks of it, as I was saying, like at the very start, I think they're not trolling. So Rubber is not trolling. He just pulled out a sniper rifle. You know, the SkyFall are down 2, M4 hour rocking with 12. They are literally just they're just sniping. You know, go for the long range shots. Yeah, just have an overall funner time at the moment because they know they're overwhelming SkyFall now, especially with SkyFall missing those 2 players. And oh my god, we're just going to keep an eye on Rubber here for just a second because he is feeding those shots with that sniper rifle. And he's spotted the tank for SkyFall. He's going to get a hit off there with the C4 and unfortunately will be taking a tank shell plus Reaper to the face. And I believe Atom is currently in command of that MBT. Okay. A new role for Atom from now on is going to be glorified tanker. And that's going to be going forward if he joins a new team and if he decides he wants to play further with another new team, then yeah, hopefully he does take up some sort of tank position. It will be a very good gameplay arc to see from the man himself. Right, so back towards Rubber at this moment. Still sniping. Again, he's playing whack-a-mole with someone over there from SkyFall. Just seen a head rising up above a piece of cover, constantly going back down and up again. So he's looking for him. We're down to like 20 tickets remaining. Looks like this game is going to be coming to a close today, guys, which will mean Made for Legends will be taking the victory today from SkyFall, putting them into the finals. I'm not entirely sure if we've had any results in confirmation who they're going to be fighting against just yet, whether it will be ESF or Gloria Victus. I will grab that scoreboard so we can just have a look at the very end. However, okay, so the other match we haven't heard from just yet, but I will grab the kill feeds from the very final bit there so we can see those KD ratios at the very end of this game. So, going off the top of Made for Legends, we've got L Prince over the 12 and 4, 12 and 3 to Greasy, Reaper with the 10 and 10, 13 and 4 to Aware, Weety with the 16 and 0 as the tanker yet again, 7 and 4 to Japvin, Rubber with the 7 and 2 as a sniper, 11 and 4 to Markitos Lee, Ariza with the 2 and 1, 12 and 6 to Real Taco Psych with a 13 and 0. Looks like Eka didn't really play, 0 and 0. 7 and 4 to a Joker. Skyfall side, WJB with a 1 and 4, 5 and 13 to Dark, Elusive with a 2 and 9. Sid with a 7 and 11, 2 and 6 to Texatosa Cincer with a 7 and 8, 4 and 5 to Wurzel and Atom with the 6 and 12. So guys, GG's both teams, very well played. As I mentioned at the start of the stream, because Skyfall's only got 1 game now, so tomorrow they'll be doing their game against LRP in the finals for squad obliteration. After that game, they will no longer be playing anything for the time being. I'm not sure if they're disbanding, I'm not sure if they're retiring, but they're just going inactive. So Skyfall will be inactive after this tournament, which is quite sad because Skyfall's been around for as long as I've been around casting Battlefield, and when I was doing competitive as well before I started casting. So it'd be sad to see them go inactive. But I do wish well to all the players wherever they will end up within Battlefield competitive. Made for Legends goes into the finals. So we're going to be seeing them tomorrow in this 12v12, whether they go up against ESF or Gloria Victus is going to be another story. I do wonder who they're going to be going up against. We actually seen them go up against Gloria Victus earlier this week for another league. And we also seen them going up against them a few weeks ago for ESB. So it's kind of like an old nemesis, you know, Gloria Victus and Made for Legends. So it'll be interesting to see if ESF can steal it from them. And we'll see a Made for Legends versus ESF, which could be also an interesting game. So that being said, I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. I will see you guys tomorrow nice and fresh for 2 games. Like I said, we got the squad obliteration and then we got the 12v12 finals for both. So 12v12 finals, squad obliteration finals for ESB of this season before we take a short break, and then we'll come back for some more at a later date. So I've been like an MB, and I will see you guys on the battlefield, and I'll see you guys in another cast. See you guys, and thank you for joining very much. Peace out.
Only on esportbf.com.